Good evening. Welcome to Who Done Did It, the podcast where we dissect murder cases and find out who did the deed. Tonight, on episode 1, we find out who killed Mira. On October 18th, 2019, Mira Dalton, an 18-year-old freshman at Blackwood University, left a late-night study session at the library. 6 days later, her body was found in a sealed maintenance tunnel beneath Blackwood Hall. What began as a missing person case became something far more disturbing. A pattern of secrets, a web of control, and a killer with everything to lose. Tonight, we walk you through the investigation the university hoped you'd never hear. Part 1. The Last Sighting. The last confirmed video of Mira Dalton is timestamped 11:42 p.m. She exits the library, hood up, backpack strapped tight, and turns toward Blackwood Hall. She took that shortcut almost every night, but this time, she didn't make it home. The next morning, when Mira missed her 9 a.m. chemistry lab, her roommate filed a report. Campus police dismissed it as a routine runaway. Midterms, stress, they've heard it all before. But Mira's parents didn't buy it. They pressured the administration, and the county sheriff stepped in. The last person to see Mira alive was Eleanor Shaw, a 73-year-old night janitor in Blackwood Hall. I saw Mira go in, told her the lights flicker on the 3rd floor. We've had outages all week. She smiled, said she wasn't scared. That's the last I saw. Eleanor clocked out at 12:07 a.m. Mira's phone stopped transmitting at 12:09. 2 minutes. That's all it took for Mira Dalton to vanish. Part 2. The Secret Floor. Blackwood Hall is one of the oldest buildings on campus, built in 1912, renovated repeatedly, but never consistently. Students joked that it always felt like something bad had happened there. They weren't wrong. That's where Mira went the night she vanished. That's where the cameras didn't reach. That's where her phone died. Investigators combed through Blackwood Hall, classrooms, attic, and basement. Nothing. But one of the detectives noticed something odd. The building's architectural plans didn't match the current layout. There was a sealed door beneath the basement and a forgotten storage corridor. And inside was a 1960s maintenance tunnel, old fuse boxes, a layer of graffiti dating back decades, and Mira's smashed phone. 5 days into the search, cadaver dogs alerted a rusted gate that connected to a drainage culvert. Mira's body was wedged inside. Cause of death, blunt force trauma to the back of the head. Not a fall. Not a misstep. Not an accident. Her backpack was missing. Her lanyard was burned. Her phone was destroyed. Someone wanted Mira erased. But why? Part 3. The Suspects. Investigators built a list of suspects, each with motive, each with opportunity. Eleanor Shaw, the janitor, suspicious to internet sleuths, the last to see Mira alive, but her time card and bus camera footage confirmed she was off campus by midnight. She was cleared. Brittany Lowe, campus gossip hub, said she was at a frat party. Cameras showed she wasn't. Her phone was off for 2 hours. She had a long-standing grudge against Mira. Caleb Reese, IT assistant, obsessive crush on Mira. Saved photos of her without her consent. His swipe card logged him in at Blackwood Hall minutes before she entered. Alexis Dunn, Mira's RA, was caught by Mira stealing exam answers, argued publicly with Mira days earlier, left the dorm for a walk that lasted over an hour. Every suspect looked guilty, just not guilty enough. Part 4. The Interrogations. Alexis, you left the dorm at 12:05 a.m. You didn't return until 109. That's a long walk. I needed air. Mira stressed me out. She reported you, Alexis. You know that. We have emails. Mira accused you of stealing exam answers. I was protecting my GPA and my reputation. Mira didn't respect boundaries. She liked inserting herself where she didn't belong. You confronted Mira 2 days before she died. Witnesses heard yelling. We argued. It wasn't a threat. You told her, and I quote, "You'll regret this. Just you wait and see." A floor mate reported hearing her say, "If she gets my scholarship revoked, I swear," before the rest trailed off. Police found a torn fabric scrap in Blackwood Hall that matched her coat, not conclusively, but enough to make her sweat. Her alibi? She was listening to music. Her phone was on airplane mode the entire hour. A glitch, she said. A coincidence, she claimed. Investigators didn't buy it. Not yet. Brittany, you told us you stayed at the frat party. Yeah? I left early, so? You turned your phone off for 2 hours. Why? My battery sucks. It was at 87% when you turned it off. Brittany, you were one of the last people confirmed to have seen Mira alive. Tell us about that. We passed near the quad around 9. She looked distracted, like she'd seen a ghost or something. Where were you between 10 and midnight? At the student center. Anyone confirm that? Well, no, I was in the basement. No cameras. How convenient. Investigators discovered a text Brittany sent earlier that week. Mira is messing with stuff she doesn't understand. They also found a metal baseball bat next to Brittany's bed. Weight, dimensions, consistent with Mira's head wound. Brittany insisted she just felt unsafe. But the timing, the lies, it all smelled fishy. Caleb, we looked through Mira's emails and we found your name. A lot. I fix computers. It's my job. You offered to help her with every assignment she had, even in classes you weren't in. I'm just nice. People say I'm nice. Mira didn't describe you as nice. She told a friend that you made her feel uncomfortable. Did you have a crush on her, Caleb? No, she just needed help. You saved screenshots of her Instagram photos. You weren't helping her, Caleb. You were stalking her. Did she ever return your feelings? She didn't understand me. People never do. And that made you angry. No, I loved... She was important to me. She was supposed to trust me. We pulled your phone records. You tried calling Mira 6 times the night she died. She wouldn't answer. She never answered. Why were you so desperate, Caleb? Did you see Mira that night, Caleb? No. Even he doesn't sound convinced. His key card logs him into Blackwood Hall at 11:51 p.m., just 7 minutes before Mira enters. Phone ping places him near the computer lab, even though he claims he was home. Caleb says he left the building before Mira arrived, but camera footage from the lobby glitches at the exact time he should have exited. He had access to the cameras. Still, his timeline didn't quite intersect Mira's. Not fatally, anyway. Part 5. The Affair. 3 days into the investigation, everything changed. A student reporter came forward with new information that the investigators hadn't yet released. Mira had told 2 friends she saw something she wasn't supposed to in Blackwood Hall the week before she vanished. Detectives interviewed her roommate, who revealed the missing piece. 6 days before her disappearance, Mira walked into a dark classroom after hours and caught Dr. Hunter Lane, a tenured environmental science professor, with a sophomore student. Not teaching, not tutoring, having an affair. Emily Rourke, the student, confirmed it, shaken and frightened. She said Mira walked in accidentally and caught them. Lane had begged Mira to keep quiet. He wasn't angry, Emily said. He was terrified. But Mira did tell someone. She reported what she saw to the department chair. Lane found out. And that was the night Mira disappeared. Part 6. The Red Flags. Dr. Lane admitted he entered Blackwood Hall at 11:58 p.m. on the night of Mira's disappearance. He claimed it was to retrieve a forgotten laptop. But he had no explanation for why his keycard logged him onto the 3rd floor, the same floor where Mira had last been seen. Why his car moved spots in the lot between midnight and 12:30. Why his text messages from the night had been deleted. And why Emily Rourke texted him, "Please don't do anything stupid," at 12:14 a.m. Circumstantial, suspicious, but not enough for an arrest, until investigators found the backpack. Part 7. The Backpack. A groundskeeper discovered Mira's backpack under a pile of leaves behind the science building. Inside, a binder, a broken pencil, and in the outer pocket, a crumpled faculty parking ticket issued to Dr. Lane, timestamped 12:09 a.m., the exact minute Mira's phone went dark. Dr. Lane insisted the ticket fell in by accident. The district attorney didn't buy it. He was arrested for Mira's murder. Case closed. Or so it seemed. Part 8. The Other Secret. During trial prep, the case cracked back open. Emily Rourke broke down in a private meeting and confessed, Dr. Lane didn't kill Mira. She did. Her story poured out in sobs. Emily revealed Lane had pursued her for almost a year. Pressure, threats, mentorship that blurred into coercion. She felt trapped and was ashamed. "I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to hurt her. She was just trying to help me. I panicked. He told me she ruined everything. He said I'd lose everything." Emily went to Blackwood Hall that night to beg Mira not to report the affair, terrified that it would go public and ruin her future. Mira refused. She said someone needed to protect the next girl. The argument escalated in the basement. Emily shoved her. Mira fell backward and hit her head on a protruding pipe. Instant. Fatal. Emily panicked. She texted Lane. He arrived minutes later. What happened next was cold, calculated. He checked for a pulse. He smashed Mira's phone. Then he burned her school ID, took her backpack, and dragged her body into the tunnel. He told Emily, "Accidents happen in old buildings. Our job is to help the truth look right." Emily helped him. She felt like she didn't have a choice. Lane wasn't a murderer. He was a cover-up artist. Emily Rourke was charged with manslaughter. Lane with obstruction, evidence tampering, and abuse of authority. Part 9. The Price of Secrets. Blackwood University settled privately with Mira's family. Lane's marriage ended quietly. Emily accepted a plea deal. The university sealed Blackwood Hall's basement, filled the old tunnels with concrete. The official report ends with, "The motive was not academic misconduct or corruption. It was fear. The fear of a secret getting out. A secret that should have never existed." Part 10. The Other Names. After Lane's arrest, detectives searched his office. In a locked file cabinet, they found dozens of folders, each labeled only with student initials. Inside, emails, photos, notes from private meetings, disciplinary threats, and letters of recommendation he dangled like bribes. In a crawl space above his office ceiling, they found a thumb drive labeled Insurance. It contained recordings of Emily, of other students, sex tapes of the affairs that took place in his classroom, conversations that sounded like fear disguised as compliance. Lane had kept trophies, whispers of girls terrified of losing scholarships, majors, and futures. Whispers Lane collected like currency. A blueprint of coercion spanning years. Not one student had ever filed an official complaint. Some had transferred. Some had dropped out. Some had simply vanished from campus life. All female, all young, all dependent on him. Emily was just the one he managed to keep. Mira was the one who refused to be silent. A detective later said off record, "If we dug into Lane 10 years earlier, Mira might still be alive. She wasn't his first victim, just the first one who died." Lane built a world where girls like Emily felt owned, where students were objects, not people, where fear kept everyone silent. Mira Dalton broke that silence, and she paid the price. This has been Who Done Did It, and now we know that Dr. Hunter Lane killed Mira. Make sure you tune in next week to find out who killed Jamal. Thanks for listening.